What's up everybody, Griffey here. Creepy commercials, applying makeup to dead bodies, and putting a very famous jockstrap up for sale. Hollywood's biggest stars have done some pretty weird things to make a buck. How much do you know about Chechnya? Your default answer should be more than Hilary Swank. In 2011, Swank was paid to attend a City Day celebration in the Chechen Republic for Ramzan Kadyrov, as an infamous dictator and Putin puppet, Ramzan Kadyrov. A simple Google search would tell you everything you need to know about him. At the event, Swank gave a positive speech in which she acknowledged that City Day is also Kadyrov's birthday. She added that she knew this because she did her own research. So I guess another thing that you know is that you're a better researcher than Hilary Swank. After receiving major criticism for being paid to attend the event, Swank apologized on The Tonight Show, fired her CAA manager, donated her appearance fee to charity, and was dropped by her publicist. The Oscar winner has never revealed how much she made for attending the event, but it's likely to have been about 6 figures. But hey, at least she got a tax write-off from it. In 2019, Tom Hiddleston appeared in a Centrum commercial in China. In the ad, the actor cooks and serves breakfast to the viewer. He then gives over the breakfast and apologizes for needing to be away so much.
I'll make it up to you soon, I promise.
The ad ran in 2019 for Centrum's East Asian marketing campaign and did quite well there. There was, however, a less than positive response from folks in the United States and Britain who also saw the ad, with many calling it creepy and uncomfortable. I know what you're thinking. How out of character for a guy who wore a I Heart TS shirt to the beach while dating the TS. You would never expect that guy to be creepy and uncomfortable. But here we are. Luckily for Centrum and Hiddleston, the ad isn't meant for Western audiences, and it turns out the Chinese people appreciated the novelty of being served food by a famous, handsome actor. Hugh Jackman may be an international star, but his road to blockbuster success has been paved with a lot of crummy jobs. And we're not just talking Movie 43 and Van Helsing. You know, you need to revisit Van Helsing. You might remember it's bad, but it is oh so much worse than you even remember. Complete clown show. Ironically, that would be his second stint in one of those. During an appearance on The Howard Stern Show, Jackman talked about working as a birthday clown before he found success as an actor. He told the radio host, "I was good up to the age of 3. You could climb on my head, I could juggle 3 things, I could juggle kind of anything, but nothing more. No balloon animals, no magic tricks, nothing."
You're being hired so the parents can just drink for an hour.
Much like Van Helsing, which is an excuse to drink for 2 hours. Not many people can say they've been personally called out by the Human Rights Foundation, but Jennifer Lopez is not like most people. According to the HRF, Lopez has made more than $10 million performing for various dictators around the world. In 2013, Lopez performed at the birthday party of the dictator of Turkmenistan, whose name is something I'm not even going to try. Here, I'll point to the screen. That's it, that's his name. The Independent reported that Lopez affirmed her team's vetting process. The outlet also said that the star wouldn't have performed for the dictator had she known of his behavior. However, J-Lo has also performed for the dictator of Belarus, Chechen dictator Ramzan Kadyrov, hey, there's our boy again, and several other unsavory individuals and institutions. That said, she has also never responded to calls that she donate her fees from these performances to charity. In her defense, divorce lawyers are expensive. Kim Basinger once purchased more than 50 buildings in 1,700 acres of land in a Georgia town named Brazelton. On the bright side, this wasn't the country of Georgia, and she bought it off some dictator. It was here in the good old US of A. But she also went broke doing it. So there's that. In 1990, Basinger and a team of investors envisioned that the town would become a home to an exciting film and music production studio, as well as a non-Hollywood hub of movie-related tourism. Basinger even envisioned building an entire theme park alongside shopping centers, hotels, and restaurants. The town and the people who lived there were promised a lucrative, stimulating economic project that would pay for itself many times over. Basinger and her team bought nearly the whole town of Brazelton for about $20 million in 1990. However, they were forced to sell the same assets just 5 years later for a mere $4.3 million. That certainly helped with Basinger's 1993 bankruptcy filing. In the end, no one in the 90s was going to film something in Georgia, as opposed to today when everything's filmed in Georgia. Maybe we're being a bit too hard on Kim for this one. She was just way ahead of the curve here. It's not easy to pay the bills as an up-and-coming actor, so you gotta do what you gotta do. For Whoopi Goldberg, that meant being a morgue cosmetologist. Whoopi's job was to do makeup on dead bodies before their open casket funerals. It's one of those jobs that few people think about, but which someone has to do. Goldberg was a licensed beautician, so it was an easy way to make money. She said that on her first day of work, her boss pretended to be a dead body, climbing out of a morgue drawer. Goldberg was so scared that she bolted out of the room and smacked her head on the door. When she came to, she recalled her boss telling her, "The worst thing that you could imagine has happened. That's it. You still want to work?" She replied, "Well, it beats giving a speech in Turkmenistan for money." Kidding, kidding, kidding. When we think of Crocs, we usually think of nurses and line cooks. Maybe the company was trying to avoid those stigmas when it asked John Cena to endorse its product in a 2017 commercial. Cena spends the commercial talking about how he was bullied as a child and overcame that by beefing up.
I asked my dad, is it okay if I start working out?
It's not exactly a story that screams Crocs. The thing is, Crocs was launching its Come As You Are campaign, a marketing strategy built around the idea of encouraging kids and young people to be themselves and celebrate the things that made them different. And the company wanted people to embrace their uniqueness by wearing its dorky shoes. Were you picked on as a kid? Nothing like some Crocs to show those bullies who's who. Sure, working out 6 days a week with a daily intake of 4,500 calories of pure protein helps too, but Crocs really drives the point home. Citizen Kane is one of the finest films ever made. When you think all-time classics, it's up there with Highlander and The Godfather. But making classics doesn't pay the bills all the time. So Orson Welles still occasionally took a gig or two in order to make a paycheck. You probably know about his commercial work, like his infamous Peas commercial, but you're forgetting his best money grabs. Orson Welles voiced the robot Unicron in the film Transformers the Movie.
You underestimate me, Galvatron.
While talking about his role in the animated film, Welles told his biographer, Barbara Leeming, "I menace somebody called something or other. Then I'm destroyed. My plan to destroy whoever it is then thwarted, and I tear myself apart on the screen." It's clear that the veteran actor found the role of Unicron to be a far less stimulating role than, say, Othello. And unfortunately, he didn't even have time to enjoy the fruits of his labor. Welles died 5 days after finishing his work on the film. Many celebrities have tried their hand at restaurant management. Some have even opened restaurants, only to watch them fail soon after. However, Eva Longoria is the only actor who failed at opening a restaurant that specifically catered to women. Longoria's steakhouse called She, wait, it's just pronounced She, but the SH are capitalized. Shouldn't it be Shiggy? I think they really dropped the ball there. Anyway, it was meant to serve as a restaurant destination in Las Vegas that would attract women and clients interested in a more feminine eating experience. Get your minds out of the gutter. It opened in 2012 and the menu featured she cuts and he cuts of steak. The restaurant closed in 2014 after a string of health code violations, and there wasn't much of an uproar from customers over it. Guess you could say the food was shit. If you've been to the Australia Zoo recently, you might be wondering why there's an area known as the John Oliver Koala Chlamydia Ward. If you haven't been to the Australia Zoo recently, you might also be wondering why there's an area known as the John Oliver Koala Chlamydia Ward. Let's take it a step further. If you're on Earth right this second, you might be wondering why anything is called the John Oliver Koala Chlamydia Ward. Well, we can thank Russell Crowe's jockstrap. In April 2018, Crowe decided to auction off a number of his personal film-related items and memorabilia with Sotheby's Australia. He was in the middle of a contentious divorce and needed some scratch. The auction was called Russell Crowe: The Art of Divorce. In addition to his Cinderella Man jockstrap, Crowe auctioned the plate armor he wore in Gladiator and costumes from Robin Hood and Master and Commander, among other things. John Oliver and his writers, who are notorious for finding ways to troll people in real life, decided to bid on several items, including Crowe's jockstrap, which cost nearly $7,000. They donated the items to one of the last standing Blockbuster stores in the world, located in Anchorage, Alaska, as a way for them to attract visitors. Turns out the good folks of Alaska were not entertained.
Nobody wanted to go to the Blockbuster Video to see his jockstrap?
Obviously, I'm different from the people of Alaska.
Yeah.
When Crowe found out about the shenanigans, he donated the proceeds from that specific sale to the Australia Zoo to support the construction of a chlamydia ward for koalas. And with that, we learned that no one cares more about koala chlamydia than Russell Crowe. You think it can't get weirder than a bingo card with Russell Crowe, koala chlamydia, Turkmenistan, and Transformers Orson Welles? How about Susan Sarandon ping pong balls? When she's not busy acting, helping UNICEF, or trying to rid the earth of landmines, Susan Sarandon loves her some table tennis. She co-owns a chain of ping pong clubs known as Spin.
I'm more of a propagandist.
A propagandist.
I'm a ping pong propagandist.
Susan didn't come up with the idea for Spin. She happened upon a Spin ping pong party, began dating a semi-pro ping pong player, and then became professionally involved with the company. Okay, hang on, time out. Is this real? Are you guys putting me on? Seriously? The club soon skyrocketed in popularity and expanded with multiple locations. Unsurprisingly, Spin is about more than just making money. Its mission is also about generating spaces for adults to meet up and find community and fun. So if pickleball is just way too much exercise for you, try out Susan Sarandon's ping pong balls. It might be your speed.